First off, when you guys were working on the development, what were the main things that you wanted to focus on? Like humor, gameplay, replayability.
I mean, yes, all of those things. Like we set out with the idea of like giving a window into like what it's like to be a software developer without actually having to do the work. And like I wish I could say the humor was exaggerated in the game so far, but a lot of this is based on things that have actually happened. And like sometimes we have to tone down what actually happened because it seems unbelievable.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of it was that everything seems so exaggerated, but that's really funny that you say that it's not.
Yeah, we're just touching up the like last few bits of dialogue for the next update to the demo, and like the speech that the CTO gives is very similar to something I've experienced in real life, and it's still like we're creating a window where everybody can be like see each other in a new way, and we're going to change the world. Are you ready?
I really like the I think he was the IT guy, the one that's really sarcastic.
Kyle, the dude with long hair.
Yeah, I enjoyed him.
Yeah, he's been the favorite so far on the survey. We figured that most people or gamers would identify with him the most since he's very sarcastic.
Since it is kind of like a trading card game type thing, was there any specific trading card game that inspired this? Like,
I mean, it's a mashup of things. Like Inscription was like kind of one of the main inspirations behind the game itself. Like we want to create an immersive experience with all of this stuff. But the mechanics itself has a lot to do with like Magic and Hearthstone. I played a lot of Magic in my day. So, and like Inscription was kind of close to Magic with the way that you like had to build up mana to summon the cards. Well, it was called Blood in Inscription, but
okay, I could see the mana, how that plays into effect with the focus and everything.
Yeah, like there's two colors of mana, and like there you gain them in different ways, and there's kind of land cards.
Yeah, I really like the way that like you built in like the bugs, and I like the way that everything meshed well in that. What are some of your main plans to expand on the on dev hell to keep the heart beating?
So the big first heartbeat here coming is that we're going to have a demo that has a lot more content in it, and we've been working on it for a while now. So you'll be able to see through Act 2, you'll be able to see the non-tutorialized version of Act 1 that has a lot more content in it. There will be the biggest change in the game is that the relic system is like fully in, so there's like little company swag items you can get that you can build around. So, you know, just like relics and Slay the Spire or Jokers and Balatro kind of deal. They're more like Jokers. You can only have 4 of them, and they can have pretty big effects on how the game plays. Post-release, there's a whole like range of things we want to do with it. So from, you know, just more cards, more relics, more dialogue, more story. Like our whole system is set up so that we can put in lots of content really easily.
I can see
or without the game's well, to be technical for a second, the game is mainly expressed in JSON files. So like adding in new content is a matter of if the code supports it, we can put it in. So putting in lots of content is definitely a plan. And we'd love to make like a working from home mode that's a little bit more of like just the card game and a lot faster to play.
Cool. Like almost like a dungeon setting.
Yeah. Yeah, like a more endless mode kind of deal. Because like all the screens and stuff, like I can just put the screen on the screen without like the monitor on the screen. So like just having something that like is a more of an end game, like playing it really fast once you've like gone through the story.
One thing that I will say, like how you said you just put a screen on the screen. One thing I find interesting is that while you're playing on a screen in a screen, it doesn't feel like other trading card games where you're just staring at the same screen every single level.
Yeah, there's a That's another thing that we're going to see in the demo is that there's a lot more screens. Like it is the game is structured so the player can just take out their laptop and play cards whenever. So there's a lot of structure around that we're going to showcase a little bit more in the demo, and that's going to happen a lot more as you get into the game, because a lot of the side quests will wind up with you like in somebody's office, like helping them solve a problem, and like the way you play the cards will be slightly different.
Cool. It might be an out there question, but do you have any plans for PvP in the future?
No, I can't. Like we have not built this game to be networkable at all. I think that the format would be a little bit limited for PvP just because of the amount of slots on the board. A lot of the meta in this game is about solving like card draw and how you generate concentration and making sure you have the right solution for the right problem at the right time.
Yeah, I think it could get pretty frustrating pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that I do want, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see mechanics and some of these ideas in a PvP game just because I feel like I've played that PvP game in real life. So we can't do it because networking is not built in, but the idea is very interesting.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, how did you guys want to focus on difficulty? Because at times the game can actually be pretty hard, but at the same time it's not overly frustrating.
So right now the actual build we have is a little bit too easy, so we're tuning it up. With the relic system in it's got a lot of pivot points now of where it can and can't be difficult. There's a lot more things that the cards can do than they do in the demo, like shields and like affecting other cards, like a bug that makes all the other bugs stronger, or like stink bug is actually supposed to freeze the code output of your card for one turn kind of deal. So a lot of those mechanics are coming, and the balancing system is actually really straightforward. So as we build out the matches, they're very like they're semi-random and like bespoke. So like we have a lot of knobs we can tune, a lot of knobs we can dial to find the right balance for the game. So like everything's not just completely random. Like we have like a move set, and like we can change the NPC strategy and like their move set around to like make sure that feels like it's challenging you properly.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite part of the game?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, my favorite part from the development side has been how ridiculous like what we're doing is for how mundane the results are. Like we're doing motion capture for the animations. It's like a motion capture suit. It's not really like anything high end. Because we're just aiming for like a Sims quality with the animation, but like we're trying to give each character their own personality and such. Dell's the actor, so them not being here makes it a little bit less fun. I can't. Some of the gear is right there. Like that's the head rig, and that's the. Ooh, is this laggy? Yeah, like there's our head rig, and that's the like magnemeter thing that can do an EMF field to figure out where you're standing.
It's kind of funny that you say mundane output, because I kind of find that charming in a way. I think it fits the dialogue and the gameplay, and that's cool that you're doing motion capture for it.
Yeah, it's again, like it's rudimentary, but we're trying our best. Like just getting another fun thing was like just getting the chairs to line up with the character backs, and like making sure their spine is like, or the chair is able to track their spine properly and be in the right place. But that was like a core concept of the game, is we wanted to be like unapologetic about like this is the real thing, because we saw like a lot of there's a lot of paths for this game where we could have gone cartoony or more video gamey with it, or like more hacker like, but we're like, we really want to tell our story with this game. So we kept it relatively realistic looking within kind of the bounds of what we're capable of. And yeah, that's really been my favorite part of it, is just like trying to stay true to like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna try and make sure that it feels good to play, but we're not gonna shy away from just being like, there's fluorescent lights and you're in an office.
Cool. I think you kind of already answered it, but what do you think sets Dev Hell apart from other games in the same genre?
I mean, I think we have a few unique mechanics ish with like the two, having the code and the influence, and basically making it so we're representing like 8 numbers with like 2 numbers on a card. So there's a lot of interesting like logic puzzles in that, especially once you start seeing the keywords. So from the card mechanics perspective, there's quite a few unique things going on. I think that one of the bigger things that sets it apart is that we're simulating like, this isn't just a coat of like dev theme paint on top of a game. Like, we're trying to simulate the core experience of developing as a game. So everything was built from the ground up to like give that simulation without the, hopefully, the mundane parts of it. Like, you don't have to write anybody an email or anything. And then yeah, the first person perspective stuff, like really putting you in and giving you a real environment. Like, we've put a lot of work into like just that you're there kind of deal. Most card games are just the card game, and we're telling a lot more story with it. There's quite a bit of progression through the story, and it kind of follows like the Hades structure, where as you complete runs, things open up. And then there's kind of like a random mode at the end where you can just play through it and like explore all of the side stories. A big part of what makes the game what it is that like the way you interact with the coworkers is kind of part of your build. So like if you become friends with Kyle, you'll get more code themed rewards from Kyle. If you become friends with Lydia, you'll get more influence themed rewards from Lydia. And like, that's the most basic example, but like the way that you can make, if this person's your friend and that person's your friend and that person's your enemy, then your rewards will be different in each run.
Cool. Yeah. I can definitely see that. It does lean more towards a roguelite than just your conventional trading card game.
That is the goal, is a roguelike, but like more of a deck building experience like Magic. Like, I really like the deck building experience of Magic and Hearthstone, but I like mixing it with a roguelike, so I don't just pick my best cards every time.
Yeah. I also think the first time when I lost a run and the big "you're fired" came up, we went a different direction. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, the joke on our end is calling that the dev soul screen.
It definitely looks like that.
We were like, it's a stretch goal, but like, I would love to actually do the whole thing with a shader and like the black and white, and like it looks more like the "you died" screen than it currently does. But we found that that's not necessary, so we're focused more on gameplay, and then we'll come back around to that kind of polish at the end.
Maybe one day it'll make its way in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of post-processing already, and I don't want to overload it. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't really have much more. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on?
I mean, I feel like I said most of it. Like, that's kind of the word we want to get out there, is that we're doing something that's interesting and unique. We definitely know that some people are going to hate it, and they've told us that, but the people that like it have really liked it. So we're just trying to find those people so they can know it exists and check it out. So like, people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think it's funny that you brought up the Dev Souls thing, because in a way, a lot of people don't like Dark Souls games because they're insanely hard, but you can't make games for everybody.
We do have we are very focused that we think that there's enough people in the market to support. I mean, we're mainly a 2-person team. We think that there's enough people in the market that will like this game, we want to have a long demo out there to make sure that people can understand what they're buying. There's no like need to sell to people that don't like it. Like there's going to be enough people that like it based on our, stats so far, that we just want to give the best representation we can of what we're building and bring those people in. Because we've had some great like interaction with the community so far in Discord. We want to get more of that, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about it so we can find those people and get some more fans. It's tougher in right now.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the process, and I wish you the best in it. My one last question would be, if you could hide an Easter egg in the game, what would it be?
Oh man, there's already so many. There's a lot of like some using Easter eggs as game mechanics too, like being able to hide like a death card for yourself for your next run. There's a lot of really like specifically placed like coding books, and the posters are less Easter eggy, but they're very much things we've run into. Trying to think through what I can and can't give away yet. A lot of this stuff isn't like super finalized for exactly how it's going to be. So there's a few hidden things in the office that like are either like visual gags. Like if you like look at it, you'll get it. We'll probably put some more of those in.
Cool.
There's stuff on the monitors too, but like that's not in the demo right now. Hopefully we can get a lot of those fun things in, of like if you actually sit down and read them on. Yeah, the source code for the game's on the monitors right now too. That's pretty fun.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming and talking about it.
I appreciate anybody that actually takes the time to play. Like, holy crap, we're just so happy that like people are playing it and enjoy it in general, because the developers are high anxiety, high imposter syndrome people that are like, is everything I'm doing a mistake? Oh God, what am I doing with my life? Why am I developing a game about this?
That's what working in PR is like too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys can't really fix the product if people aren't going to like it. But that's why we went with PR too, is like that's our fastest road to just finding out if people are going to enjoy what we're trying to make.
It's funny. I decided to play it because I saw one GIF that I thought was funny, and I ended up liking it.
Which GIF?
It was the lady that first interviews you. It was the way that she turned around. It looked so menacing, and I thought it was funny.
Where is that at?
I think I saw it on an email. And then I believe I used it on my front page.
Yeah.
Like as the cover of an article.
I'm sorry. I like finding that point where people actually go from not knowing to becoming interested about the game is like so important to me. Like with the few videos we found of people actually playing it and like seeing it in Steam and just being like, oh God, yes, I want to click on that. That's been really validating. I know there's a bunch of like, I don't see the videos of the people going, oh God, that's awful, and then scrolling past it, but
yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Keep it up.
Thanks. We're trying.